Hey, 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 it's your girl Lisa Nichols here, and welcome to a very special segment of the Lisa Nichols Show, where I'm going to answer some of your questions. After all, you know what you need to know answers to. You know the things that you're working on, you know the areas that you want to break through in. So, I grab stuff from the comment sections from previous shows. So please remember, post some comments, post some questions, give me some feedback. And so this particular question came from one of our tribe members who watched the show, How to Love Yourself First, right? So I did a show on how do you love yourself first, something we are always reminded that we need to do. So this particular sister, beautiful sister, asked, Lisa, you helped me realize that my cup needs to be full in order to have an amazing relationship with others. Then she goes on to ask, can you give me some insight on exactly how do I fill my cup up? Absolutely. I would love to. After all, this is one of my constants that I have to focus on. I feel like I've gotten it, I master it, and then I look up and I need to turn around and focus on it again, right? Because life happens. So it's one of my favorite topics, primarily because it's a topic that I need to keep reminding Lisa. When I have a favorite topic, guarantee is something that I'm constantly working on. So I know firsthand the big difference that it can make in your life when you're out of sync and you're the last in line to be served by you, and when you're in sync with yourself and you're the first in line and you're serving others from your overflow. So here are my top tips for how you fill your own cup so you can serve others from, yes, your overflow. Number one, you want to learn how to center yourself in stillness. And that to me is easier said for many than it is done, but it's so worth doing. When you center yourself in stillness and you fall into a place of gratitude, a place of, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be in demand, instead of, I gotta do, I gotta do, I gotta do. Now, I know if you are a mover and shaker and a doer like I am, stillness feels like it's like anti-productive. But the reality is, when you get into movement, you want to make sure you're moving from a place of core. You're moving from a place of groundedness. And more importantly, and most importantly, you're moving from a place of gratitude, because gratitude gives you energy. And when you're serving everyone else, it's energy that we need. So, number one, center yourself in stillness and fall into a space of gratitude about being in demand, about having a full schedule, about being someone that others can come to. So, gratitude is the soil for all good things. And number two, give yourself permission to fill your tank. Repeat these words. I give myself permission to fill my own tank first. Say it again. I give myself permission to fill my own tank first. Remember, self-care is your responsibility to self. Self-care is your responsibility to your future. Self-care is not selfish. So, what does filling your tank mean? What does it look like? This morning, before I decided to do this show, filling my tank meant instead of taking a fast shower, I'm going to take a longer bath. I'm going to put some bubbles in my bath. I'm going to lean back. I ran downstairs right before my bath was ready and I got me a cup of tea. Because a cup of tea in the bath is like, wow, I haven't done it in forever because I've been running a lot. But that was one way that I decided, let me fill my tank up first. Another way was before I ran for anyone else, let me decide what nutrients I need today. Another way to fill my own tank up was I had a conversation with my son early morning because he brings me joy. So how do you fill your tank up? Figure out what that looks like. You have to create that list. And then give yourself permission to do 1, 2, maybe even 3 things a day just for you. Number 3, maintain healthy boundaries. Now, I've managed this one for a long time. And when I say boundaries, the first thing you think is to tell people stop, to push people away. And it's not that. It's recognizing that there's power in yes, but there's power in no. And that a no can be a dignified no. A no can be a not now. A no can be my plate is currently full. A no can mean that doesn't work for me. Any kind of no, as long as it maintains your dignity and maintains someone else's dignity, is a healthy no. So when you set boundaries, all of a sudden you're opening up space for yourself. Because when you say no to something, you're saying yes to something else. When you say no to going out in the evening because you're tired, you're saying yes to getting more rest. When you say no to being able to handle someone else's problem or their challenge, you're saying yes to spending more time in what you need. Saying no has always been something that I've had to work on. The recent years, I've gotten much, much better at it because I recognize that when I say no, I had more space for other things that I needed to do. Recently, I had a challenge in my life where a family member got really sick, and I had to say no to a lot. I mean, a lot. Almost everything that wasn't focusing on my very dear, dear family member getting better. And I thought in my head everything was going to fall apart because I said no to so many things. What happened was the people around me rose up to the occasion. They managed exactly what needed to be managed. And I had the freedom of mind space to just be, pray, have faith, and sit at the hospital bedside of my family. And so maintaining healthy boundaries can really be the first step of you recognizing, one, other people want to rise up to the occasion for you. And two, there's healing in having the spaciousness to look at your own life, to press reset, to reflect. So let's go back. I want to make sure you know all three. So again, we're focusing on how do you put yourself first? How do you serve from your saucer? Now I can give you a list of 10 things, but none of the other 7 matter until you've started with these 3. So number 1, center yourself in stillness. Now, if that stillness looks like 5 minutes or 3 minutes, then let it be that. If it looks like 30 minutes because that feels comfortable to you, then do that. But in your stillness, fall into a state of being of gratitude. Acknowledge the being of gratitude versus the doing of task. Be grateful for the calling and the responsibility that's being placed in front of you. Number 2, give yourself permission to fill your tank and understand what it looks like for your tank to be filled by you. Is it a walk? Is it some music, quiet time? Is it a book? Is it a long bath? Whatever those things are, make a short list and then give yourself permission to do it. I'm constantly doing that. And then 3, be very comfortable maintaining healthy boundaries. Recognize that in your no to one thing is yes to something else that you need right now. Now, remember, this show is not just a monologue. I don't just want to talk to you. We're in a relationship. Did you figure that out yet? I mean, we're in like an agape love relationship, a sister, brother, sister relationship. I'd love to hear from you. This is a dialogue. I want to hear what was the aha that you got from this episode, or what was a great reminder. Like, I don't expect for these things to be something you've never heard before. I may just serve it to you a little differently, or serve it to you at a time that now you're ready to hear it. Now you're ready to take action. So be sure to ask your questions below, because your questions can lead to another great segment that I answer for you and anyone else who might want to use that. Now remember to use the hashtag Lisa Answers, hashtag Lisa Answers. And your question, like literally, like I said, could be the topic of a future episode. I love to use your question as a topic to talk to you. I don't think I love anything more than taking real questions and making a conversation or having a teachable moment out of it versus us just coming up with what we think you might want to know. I want to know from you, what are you ready to learn? Leave a comment below and be sure to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, why? We're family. We go way back to at least 7 minutes ago, at the very least. And lastly, remember when I say that I love you and I believe in you, it's not because I don't have anything else to say. It's because I love you. Agape love, me to you. And I believe in you. I'll be your cheerleader. Can't wait to see you next time. Peace.